Welcome back to my live. So glad you could join me today. Today I am going to do a transfer that Couture has, and it's Oh Christmas Tree. I believe that is the exact name of the transfer. And it's Christmas Tree Farm. Anyway, it's a way fun. It turns out way cute. I may end up using it on my wreath, and I think I'll do a 2-part series, but we will make this and decide. And if not, I'll come back tomorrow with something else if I just decide to use the frame. But let me go and check to see if I'm live on my pages. And give me just a second. If you're on, please like, share, and comment. I would love to have you join me. And it's nice if you can sprinkle the love around and let people know I'm out there. So, I'm on my one page. Let me turn the volume down here. And I will open it up, and I'm going to tell everybody hello. That way I can see the commenting. And then, like I say, if you're on, that helps me to know who's on, and also helps me so I see the commenting. Oh, I'm checking my other page. I should be live on both. And for some reason, it's not pulling up on my other page. Now, let's see. Nope, and it should be. I logged in and looked. So I'm going to have to figure out what's going on there, because it's a service I'm paying for. And it should be doing... No, it is live here. So I am live. So let me open that so I can monitor the commenting there. Sometimes there's a lag on all the different Facebooks, so great. It's great to know I'm live on both. So I just having to get this set up in front of me so I can monitor commenting on both. And we will get started. So today's project, like I mentioned, is Oh Christmas Tree Farm. And if you're interested in this image, you can go over here to my website, chalkcouture.com/arlana'screations. And there you can buy this, and I'm sure we still have them in stock after Christmas. The supply may be low, and because if you don't have time to do it now, but you want it for another next year, you would have it. It's been a very popular transfer, and I've seen some adorable things done with it. But my thought was to use it on my tree. So that's kind of where I'm going at with this. So let's get started. So there's the picture of the tree and everything. Now I have a frame, and my frame is one that's not finished. It's not a chalk frame that I bought from Couture, but as you can see, my image fits perfect on it. Actually, it was probably the very first frame I bought because I was excited and I saw that and thought that would be a fun one just to try on, and I still hadn't used it, so this will be great. Now, I think I want to paint the frame red. So what I'm going to do is, I have tape here because I don't want red bleeding onto my board. And so this is just painter's tape. And the nice thing that I like about painter's tape is it's inexpensive, and I'll show you what I have mine on. It makes it easy to tear it off of there. In fact, I actually stole this roll from my sewing room because I use it a lot for my embroidery. So, give me just a minute here and I'll show you what I use. And I'll just do smaller pieces here because that way you don't have so much waste if you do it too long. And it shouldn't, the painting the frame shouldn't, now that was a little bit too short. So we'll just do 2 pieces there. Painting the frame shouldn't take too long. I'm going to use a chalk paint, and the chalk paint dries quickly. So that'll be ready to paint. Now I just put down some parchment paper. That's relatively inexpensive. You could use butcher paper. So I have a couple of chalk paints here. This one's Home Decor Chalk Folk Art. And then I have an Art Minds chalk paint here. Both came from Michael's. So, and I'm not certain color-wise. I haven't opened either one. So we'll do that now. Just poke it with my scissors because this one has the foil. That one looks like it would definitely need to be mixed up. It's watery on top. One thing about the red paste, red paints, the dye is real pigmented, so you're going to have to keep your hands clean. And this one almost looks like it's been opened, but it hasn't. I think we'll just go with this one. So we'll use the folk art one. Doesn't look as watery, and I won't have to take the time to mix this one right now. And I do have my longer stir sticks. that I used to use on the chalk paste, but this will make that good because it's long enough and yet I'm not getting it all over me. So, and it is on my arlana'screations page because it says it's live on that page too. My husband's saying he can only find it on one, but I've got it up on both, and it's saying live on both. So, and it looks like 3 people are watching with me. So I'm one, Randy's the other one, so whoever else is on, please let me know you're there. So, and I have a couple of sizes of paintbrushes here. I was going to use this one, bigger one, but my husband just grabbed this one, and I have more of this size probably over there, but this is more of the size, so I think I'm going to stick with this one. And the reason I'm choosing red is because I think it'll be fun for the Christmas. Like I said, I'm thinking about mounting this to a wreath to go on my door. I'm a little late, but at least I'll have a wreath up, and it can last for a little while because it's kind of a winter theme. I still have my cute snowman wreath that I made last year. If you were on my live from last year, I just need to find it. So, I like how this paint's going on. This is the first time I've used this brand of paint, but it is going on and covering. Probably just the one coat will be good for what I need it for. After I get my sides and that kind of stuff, we'll lift it up and I'll see if I've missed any other spots. So the red is very pigmented. In fact, I just got it on my arm there. Gonna check these cracks good. And I think I'll try and turn the board here so I can get to this other side a minute. We'll just flip it around here. Yeah, and that way I can see what I've missed also. Yeah, and this transfer might be a little more trying for me because I joined last year when, and then we moved, but I hadn't been doing lives too long, and then because of the move I had to quit, but the ones that have more detail can be a little bit more challenging. So we'll be doing the lift and pull method because you don't want your chalk paint to dry fast. And if it dries, then it sticks into the silk screen and then it doesn't lift up properly. Oh, I'll get the cap on this. So I don't have paint everywhere. And as you can see, my hands kind of got covered, so it's always good to have something available. In fact, I'll have to get another one because it's so red and okay, so now I've got my blow dryer here. We'll have a little bit of a noise, but I'll probably just still keep it on the cooler setting. That still dries it fast. You see one little spot there. I'm not going to pull my tape up till I know we have this dry. So if you'll just bear with the noise a minute while we dry this. I'm going to see if I can get the hotter heat. I had it on cool. For my chalk screens transfers, my silk screen transfers, it's better to have it on cool. You can use like a warm setting, but for this, the hotter setting is going to dry this wood faster. In fact, I can already feel it getting there. And I'll have to go around the other sides here. Now, one thing I'll want to get rid of this paper probably, because unless I can get that to dry where I laid it down. Now, and I could have had this part ready. I see one spot over here that needs just a dab. I do see another spot or two here, but they're very minor. I'll have to hold this up a minute. I know you're not necessarily seeing what I'm doing here. Sometimes when you get these bigger pieces like this, and they're on your table, and you're zoomed in on your picture, that can make it that way. Let me dry this one corner for a second, and then we'll move on. Okay, and I need to get this back on my cool setting. I think that's the cool setting. Well, I guess I'll find out when I go to do it. Okay, I'll get my hands cleaned here. Like I say, this red goes everywhere. You just peel back your tape. I see a couple little spots, but I can get those off of there. Now normally, so I'm going to try that. I have these little Swiffer things. Let me try my little spatula first, because it probably can just get scraped, and it's just coming right off. And that our little spatulas that we carry with Couture they're just plastic, but just using the edge on it. Okay. Oh, I see one little spot there that needs touched up with paint. One teeny little spot and I don't think I'll need to dry it. I'll just use my little scraper there and get that paint again, because I got some paint right on that edge. Okay. So, and I told you before, I forgot to show you this. This is my tape gun. I just got this off of Amazon, and I put some vinyl stuff on it. But it will fit the painter's tape. So it makes it nice, because you can just pull it and get it off of there fast. Okay, so we will move on. Now, normally we fuzz our transfers, which we still may. And I will show you the fuzzing cloth. This is our fuzzing cloth. This is the terry side, and this is the microfiber side. For fuzzing, you want to use the terry side. And lately though, and let me pull this on a corner and see what I think. Lately, though, our transfers have not been as sticky, some of them. This feels a little sticky, so I think I'll fuzz it maybe once. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over. And normally I will write on the back. I do have my black marker here. So let's do that. I want on the back side here, I want "Oh Christmas Tree." That way I know that this is the backer sheet for that transfer, and I will know where to put that transfer. Hi Celeste, welcome, welcome. Hi Linda, welcome. So glad you're on with me. So we're just going to take this and we're just going to pull it from the side over. Because it's such a big transfer, you don't want it to stick to itself. And it could, if it sticks, then you got to go take water and try and get it apart. So what I'll do is leave it right there on my board, and I'm just going to lay this on flat that way. And then I'll peel this up. And I think, as you can see, like that, you can, if it's just a slight stick, you're okay. But when they're real sticky, it's the worst. So I think we're good. Like I say, I don't think they're coming in as sticky. So then you're going to want to place this in here, and my thought is, and I'm going to have to do this part first, I think, but I want that to be up there as high as possible. But I'll show you this other transfer that we might use in conjunction with it. So I may center it and just use it on the sides, but the trees I thought could be cute part way up on the sides. But I may not get to use it down below. So let me measure the highest tree there, because I would have to have 2.5 inches. And I think before I didn't have that much. Let's see, because I only have like 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go back to centering this. More on the frame. Hi Pam, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. And then let me see how much we have. Now, see, I have it too far this way, so I've got to move it over just a bit. And actually, it would be easiest to measure from this direction. Still a little too far that way. That's probably pretty good. Okay, so now you just want to make certain that you get all the bubbles out, and I still have it a little higher than now. I think we're gonna leave it because it's sticking to the board good, so I'm not gonna mess with it. We'll just leave it. So, but you can take your squeegee. If you have any air bubbles, then they tend to bleed. So you just try to make certain you have all your air bubbles out of the transfer. Okay, so I think up here I'm going to do white. Here, there, and here. So we could start with that part. And here's my paste, and it has been sitting for a while. It looks to me like it's probably a little thick, but I'm going to stir it. And it is too thick to work with. So I have my distilled water, and it's in one of our Couture spray bottles that we carry. I love this bottle. It has a fine mist to it. Probably about 3 squirts. Maybe we might need a little more. You want like a chalk paste consistency. Or that didn't make sense to you guys, sorry. You want a yogurt consistency or a cake batter. And that's plenty of water. I'm not going to thin it down anymore. I just want to make certain I have it good and mixed. Now, one thing you want to do with your paste is you want to make certain that you keep them mixed up every so often because they can dry out. So you just put it on. A little bit goes a long ways, and you wipe it down. So we're going to do the chalk and pull method. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. Now, sometimes if you're worried about other areas getting chalk paste on it, you can put some of your painter's tape there and cover that area up. Oh, thanks, Pam. I could have maybe did the cut and carry in a different color, but I think I'll just keep it the white. Now this is our angled squeegee. This is a nice big one for when you're doing a big area. So now you just want to go back and get as much excess off as you can. I can tell I need to start pilling it up because it's going to dry on me. I do see a spot that I missed over here though. So let me get this spot. So the paste and peel method is where you do part of it, you lift it up, and you want to pull straight up. And I should have fuzzed more. I didn't think this one was as sticky as it's seeming. So usually we say fuzz 3 times. But a lot of them lately have not been very sticky, so I didn't want to deal with that and having it move around. So I'm just going to take my time because I want it to turn out. I've almost got it to where I can and I think we're okay. I see a spot over here that I may touch up after, but I think that turned out really good. Let's see if I'll put my blow dryer on it for just a minute or two and we'll be able to move on from there. Like I mentioned before, this is on the cool setting. And that does already seem dry. So I'm not gonna push this down very much in that area. I may take my little Swiffer tool though. I'm gonna lightly wet it. I'll show you what I'm gonna do here. So, because I think this is dried in here just a little bit, I'm just gonna see if I can get a little bit of that paste out of that section right there, because I need to get some more chalk in it. So then you just want to make certain this part's down again. And I'm going to grab my smaller squeegee. Now that I'm doing the smaller areas, this is just our little small one. And I fill that in again. And sometimes it if you're going to be a while, you can leave it thicker and then wipe it later. I need to maybe be faster than I was going on the last one. Okay, you can just save your excess because it's reusable. We can just use all the paste we can get. It goes a long ways though. Yeah, and I would have fuzzed it more. I can... But it could be the chalkboard too, because it's not one of our chalkboards, so that sometimes makes a difference. And like I mentioned, this is the chalk and pill method. We're just doing sections. So that isn't too bad, I don't think. Right through there, I could get just a titch more, but it's a little bit thick. The other thing is I could take my brush and get that spot. Or just leave it. It just looks a little distressed. So, let me put my blow dryer on that part. I can tell that I got it on my hand slightly. I see I have one little teeny dot that I got on there. We can come back in and do some red there at the end. So then you're going to want to line this back up. But you only want to stick down the truck area. You don't want to get your other full area. Now I think I'll put some tape here by the tree and the truck because I don't want those areas to get... Hi Lori, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. I wished we still lived close to everybody. I miss the crew. As soon as I get more scheduled, I need to invite everybody out to have a class. That would be fun. Okay, so I think on the tree, I'm going to use two colors. And I'm going to do the hot mess, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Now my green has thickened up a lot. So I do want to and this must have notified everybody on the one page, but shows I'm live on my other one too. So trying to figure some of this out because I'm supposed to be able to be doing live on both, plus my YouTube channel. But I've only had it connect a couple of times to the YouTube. Yeah, I was thinking everybody would have fun coming out, so we just need to do that. I miss our craft days. Okay, so that one's ready. Now I need to get, since I want to do the hot mess, I need to get this one. This one is called Kiwi. And this one was Garden Herb. I can't remember which one they discontinued, but in the spring, they'll come out with some new ones also, because we're getting a brand new catalog in February. Comes out about the second week of February. And actually, this one wasn't bad. Like I mentioned before, I know Lori just came on, and it's about, anyway, I don't know if she knows much about the chalk couture, but the paste, when you use it, needs to be kind of a yogurt or a cake batter consistency. So that's pretty good here. So what I'll do is I'll just take the hot mess, is where you just dab some colors here and there. And it's a smaller tree, so okay, so now what you do is you take your finger and you just swirl it. And then I'll take my little squeegee, one of them here, and I'll and I might have got it up there in my white. Now you can't, when you do the hot mash, you can't put it back into your jar. I should have taped up there by the white, because I'm probably going to end up touching that up. So there's your tree. That's how it looks variegated with the hot mess. Okay. this part after I'll get my little paintbrush and we'll just touch that up with the white. So I just want to be very careful. I don't want to lay that back down and I only want the truck part to stick here. But I need to make certain, like I've mentioned, you need to have the bubbles So this truck's a little tricky. I should have looked before. So let's see if we do the I may need to grab my like a silver for the or a gray for the tires. Let me look real quick here and see what I've got. I do have like a silver that could maybe be used on the tires. You got the rims, you got the little headlights. Like I say, you can, it's a little bit more detailed. The bumper. So we could try the silver. I think this one, which is fresh linen that I grabbed, that's just a little too light. So, and the silver paste is definitely going to be a little thicker than some of the others, but it hasn't been used. So it is a good consistency. I can see that already. Now let me grab my this is called a multi-tool. That's probably going to work best for around some of these areas. I'm going to have to put a little more tape down. Since we're trying to make it look more realistic. And then I'll do the same with the back one here. Hi Nancy, welcome, welcome. I said this is probably the most detailed transfer I've done. So it's a little more challenging, but everybody can see what it's like. Okay, so we'll do it to there. I'm going to do that, and then we'll do the tire parts, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so like I said, I think I'm just gonna try the silver here. We'll see. Like I say, this will be my first time with this one, so it's a little bit more challenging, and I should have looked at what some people used for their colors. I do think if you go down along this rim part with the silver, I should have maybe not covered that up, because I can probably do it while I'm getting this part. And actually it needs to stop about there. And then we'll peel this up. I think I'm going to pull that up before it dries. Let's see what I got going on here. Let me do the back of this bumper before I peel it up. And this part should be out of the silver there. Okay, so I'll peel again. Like I mentioned before, you want to try and pull straight up. So there's that. I'm going to grab my little Swiffer and I'll wet this just slightly on the end. I am going to clean my angles a little bit that I did there before I dry it. I think that will work. So we'll dry that and then we'll sometimes the paste takes longer to dry. The shimmer paste, I should say. Okay. Now we'll go back and get this little bumper stuff here and the grill. Oh, and we have this tire over here. I missed that. So I'm going to try and do some of this over here without taping it. And then I did pull this little teeny one out. This is actually a nail little thing that I got off of Amazon. It's got silicone, but it's way small. So I'm going to try that on this little bumper area here. I didn't think about this one being quite this challenging. I have seen people just chalk it more solid. I'll have to look at that again and see what others have done. But this way is going to hopefully make it more realistic. Because I think, and then we can do the little yellow headlights. So let me peel that up. I've got too many pastes open here. Give me just a second. Now you actually should cover your paste as quickly as you can. And I haven't done that, but that helps them from drying out. The other thing that's good to do is, and I won't do that because I may need the white, but it's good to put like 3 sprays back in it before you use it. So you just take your little thing, make certain it's clean good, and put the lid. Now, a lot of my paste, some of them that had been opened, had to be salvaged from having them in the heat. They were almost rock hard, and I pulled them back to this with water. It took several days, but so it's important to keep them from being in the heat. Okay, so there's that showing the bumper detail. Let me dry that one little section there. I tried to find the quietest blow dryer I could get because I know it can be very noisy. Okay, so I'll get I'm just going to use this little tool again. That worked good in the real small areas. Like they need to, the multi-tool though is pretty small, but this is just for real small stuff. Something they ought to come out with. And I can use the bright yellow. Let me show you that. This is Bumblebee. So maybe I can get an opinion here. If you're on, tell me what you think. I got Bumblebee, or I have this more gold color. And this one is Curry. So, anybody have an opinion? Bumblebee or Curry? For my little headlights. So it looks like they're on. We're on a little bit of a lag, so I'll see if anybody comments. Looks like don't have as many on right now, so, but if you're on and have an opinion, let me know what you think. We can do the bumblebee or the curry. So that's okay, that's what I thought. So my sister says bumblebee, and that's what I was thinking. So we'll get this mixed up. It is a little thick. Actually, now that I'm stirring it, well, we don't need very much, so I think we can just go with it. We're just doing those two little spots there. Okay, and then we'll pull that up and we'll dry that. There's too many buttons on this blow dryer. I keep hitting the wrong one. There's like 3 little switches. One of them is the speed, or the heat temps, I should say. Okay, so now this may look, I was thinking about doing the blue truck, but I could also do the red. So if anybody has an opinion on that, the blue or the red, and I should have a little bit different blue that's not quite as dark as that one. Let me double check. I tried to see before we started, but maybe I am just out of it. That just looks like my choices, so I'm going to go with the blue or the red. So what does everybody think? Well, I'm waiting to see if anybody has a comment on that. Actually, I can go do this. Let me grab a brown for that while we're figuring this out. And I think this one is probably the iced coffee. Let me see if I can mix that up and see what that looks like. Because it does have the little truck rails on it back there, so I've got so much on that cloth there. So we'll peel this up. Now I can see a spot here that I'm just going to use my little wet Swiffer there, and because that was already wet. And I'm just cleaning that up there. Now the other thing is the windows. Okay, so that's, my sister said she likes the red. Is on my other channel is working because she's jumped over to the other channel. So yeah, and the red reminds us of our dad's red truck. So, and maybe we don't, we got to figure the window parts out. Like I say, this transfer is a little tricky. My sister's maybe done this. I think you ordered this transfer. You're probably a pro at it by now. I'm probably taking forever, and you probably know exactly what to do with it. My red's getting on its last leg here, but there should be enough to do the truck. I may need to add just a teeny bit more water here. Okay, so we're good with that. Yeah, this one's a little challenging, I've decided. And some of these areas, let me grab this little one again. I'm just seeing some small areas here that I've just got to have really small. Well, and it looks cute when everybody else does it. I'm probably making it more challenging than I need to. I see why some of the gals mentioned they like this little tool, because it is making it where the small parts are that you need to be careful with. It's making it easier to do that without getting it on everything. I can do that and then go back to the other tool here. Yeah. Let me see if I think I'm just going to do my small squeegee. I've used a lot of squeegees on this project. And so with the tape not being there, you got to be a little careful. I might have got some on my tire there. I might have to go back in and touch that up. I see why people more like to do it. I've seen them do it just one solid color, and then and maybe that's what I should have tried to do here. Instead of trying so many colors here. Okay, I just have a little bit here by the light, I think. One little spot down there. Okay, I think we can peel it and see what we have now. Trying to see if let me see if I need to push this down right here. Maybe that's how it ends. Okay, right there. And it's like it ends that way. I may go up with that just a little bit with my paintbrush. We'll see when we're done here. I'll dry it. think it's turning out cute. We'll get this up. I'm going to lay this on my backer sheet. Let's see. Let me find that. I'm going to put it back on my backer sheet. Normally you would just go wash it. Doing that means I'll have to clean my backer just slightly if any paint goes on it. I'm just going to stick it here behind me somewhere because I don't want the paint to go all over. Now I just see one or two little spots here. I'm going to just wet my little Swiffer, my little Q-tip. I see that green. And then there's one little spot here. And for the most part, I think we're good. There's maybe a little line or two. Let me grab my little fine paintbrush here. So we'll get that, and you just put it right down in it, and you can touch up like this spot over here that I wanted to touch up. Make it a little bit more pronounced there. Would have been a little bit better if I would have shut the paste quicker. It almost needs more water in it, but that's still not too bad. Because I can always touch that up after the live if I think it needs to be touched up more. Let me try there's like one little spot over here on the red. We know our red's good right now, or it was good. Because I think that line needs to show up a little more, and that's better. And then I see a spot that didn't take good right there. Okay, and then I think we're pretty good. All I want to do now is I'm going to grab my red paint that I had before. Let me close a couple of these real quick. Get my white closed, and we're not using the blue, so I'll shut that. Now, if this works, then I'll have to pull my wreath out. If it works, tomorrow we'll come back. We'll put this on a wreath to go on a door. So, here was my, and Nancy came on late, I think, but this is the Folk Art Home Decor Chalk Paint. It's from Michael's. this brand. You could use any brand. The thing that's nice about it is it dries fast. I think other than that, there was just like a couple little spots here. Looked like maybe I got something on it, or so I think it turned out way cute. So everybody can see how that looks pretty realistic. Probably the black, not putting anything there. You could have put something there. Well, you do have the windshield. See, I forgot that part. So maybe I did need to put something there. I can decide that and lay it back on there. As I didn't know what color to do, because it's like you want to see through it, but you could paint little silver wooden shields up in here, so I could do that after the fact. So let me think on that part. If I add it, you'll see it tomorrow on the live. So anyway, I don't know how long the live was. Oh, it says 40 minutes, so that's still not too bad. Some of my lives are longer than that. Like I say, this was challenging to me because I haven't done the chalk and pull method, and it's a lot more colors, so it was a little, I was worried about it, but it did turn out, and I think it's way fun. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I will be back tomorrow. I think I'll go live at the same time, 4:30, and we will do a wreath. We'll add this to the wreath. If for some reason it's not going to work, then we'll have a different project. So anyway, I just want to thank you for tuning in. Hope you're having a good day. Bye.